Shang Ring Circumcision Part 3, Ring Removal. Removing the Shang Ring was probably the most painful part of the entire circumcision operation. Getting the procedure done itself actually didn't hurt that much. And I don't want to scare everybody when I say it hurt the most, because the actual operation, like I said in the previous video, the operation wasn't bad. The needles weren't bad. The operation didn't hurt that much. But this removing the ring, it sucked. And I don't know if it's because you're already tender and you're already sore from the actual circumcision itself. So to hold it tight and to actually break off the Shang Ring, because that's essentially what you're doing, you're breaking it off. So what they did was I went to the doctor on the 8th day after getting the circumcision. So on 8 days later, I got the ring removed. And all it is it's a simple procedure. You go in, they give you a little tool that looks like the little pin that you use to take out your SIM card out of your phone, like a little key. And there's a hole on the Shang Ring. There's an actual little hole that you insert this tool in, and then you basically use it like a crowbar and you just snap it out. Bop, like that. You crack it out. You open it. And that shit hurt. So for me to hold it, one, it was sore just for me to hold my penis on the Shang Ring where the fresh cut was just made. So I had to hold it, and then I had to apply pressure in the hole with the tool to actually snap the tool to open the ring, to release the ring. And that was a bit difficult for me. So the doctor's assistant, he gave me the option of doing it myself, and he says that he recommends most people just do it themselves rather than he hold it and try to do it for me. So that's what I did. I tried to do it myself. Now keep in mind, during the whole procedure, I pretty much kept my penis wrapped with bandage and Vaseline the entire time. So that same Vaseline was also on the Shang Ring and all over it. So it was like a nice slippery surface, which was scaring the hell out of me, because you make one little slip with this little metal device that looks like a little key. You know, you might scratch your dick or cut your dick or something. So I was scared of that in general. But I did like the fact that he said I can do it myself. So what I did was I stuck this little key in the hole on the Shang Ring, and then you just pop it like that, like a hard bop. And it wasn't working for me. Maybe I was too scared to do it hard. Maybe it was too slippery from the Vaseline, but I couldn't do it. I eventually gave it back to the assistant. I was like, look, man, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold the ring, and you break it off. And that's what he did. And that shit hurt. It was painful. Now, this pain was probably like a 8 or 7 out of 10. And it went from when I actually popped it off to about maybe 2 minutes afterwards. I was throbbing from that feeling of it breaking off. And it didn't feel good. It hurt. It hurt for 2 minutes. And then pretty much after 2 minutes, the pain just went down, 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 and it was at like a number 2. And then by the time I was getting out, it was ready to go. So that part went off. The ring came off, and he told me everything else, just leave it, and it'll just take care of itself. So that's what I did. I left it to take care of itself. I had to drive home. I thought everything was cool. But then when I got home, I went to use the toilet, and this was freak the fuck out time. So after the operation, this is the first time, and this is me going to pee, I removed the bandage that I put back on after I took off the ring, and I seen blood, and I freaked the fuck out. 1, it was a little bit painful, and 2, I seen blood, and this is like the first time I really seen blood for the whole operation, because with the Shang Ring, it's minimal bleeding, so there wasn't much blood. But now that I took the ring off, I don't know if I hurt something. I don't know if removing the ring maybe scratched me, but anyway, there was blood on the bandage. I freaked out. I called the doctor right away, like, I'm bleeding, my dick's gonna fall off. I freaked out. So he asked me to send him some photos, which I did. not the prettiest photos. Disgusting. Just gross. Anyway, he sent the photos and he replied to me that everything was fine. Keep it bandaged, and if the bleeding doesn't stop, then either go emergency or call him back and let him know. So as I'm sitting here looking at my penis that is swollen with a little bit of blood around it, also with the dead skin that didn't fall off yet, that was trapped between the ring. It was ugly, didn't feel good, and yeah. So I listened to what he said, I let it go. I woke up the next morning and thank God there was no more bleeding. Alhamdulillah. Because if it was bleeding, I just couldn't take that shit. I was thinking something was wrong. Is it infected? And every other thing that could go wrong. Stopped bleeding. So I just kept it wrapped and I just was patient. And it was swelling for a couple of days. I don't know if it was swollen the whole time from since I got the operation or if it was just swollen from me removing the ring. But it was swollen. And on top of it swollen, it also had the dead skin that was gonna fall off that was between the ring. So that dead skin was sitting there. That was pretty ugly as well. And then, yeah, the next few days now, the dead skin started to come off little by little. And that was gross. What type of gross? Throw up, vomit gross. It was gross. So this dead skin that you got on your body that doesn't fall off in an instant, it takes days, weeks, I would say, to even completely come off. It smells like, so if you ever seen a movie and you watch people walk into the room and there's like dead people and they're like, oh, it smells like a dead body. It smelled like a dead dick. If that's what you want to call it. It was gross. For weeks, I had this skin that was just coming off little by little. It was basically all the actual, my skin color came off of it. So it was like white flesh that was just coming off little by little. White, little bit yellow. I thought it was an infection. Showed pictures to the doctor. He said it's all good, it's normal. But this stuff smells so bad. I'm talking about like if you were to smell inside of your shirt, you can smell your dick from your shirt, and it was gross. Like I had to keep that, hidden as much as possible. I didn't even want the lady sleeping next to me to know that it smelled that bad, if you know what I mean. So, and then that just took, I would say, about 2 weeks for all of that dead skin to eventually come off. And as the skin came off, the wound healed more and more. But I would say I wasn't completely healed until really 6 weeks. 6 weeks is how long I would say that cut was pretty much healed. And I wouldn't even say 100% healed. I would say 95% healed. And that was up to 6 weeks. So now I'm on my 6 weeks going into my 7th week in a few days. And it's pretty much a completely sealed, closed wound. It looks beautiful. The line is perfect. There's no scarring from stitches or anything. It's just a perfect circle. Looks good. I'm happy with the way it looks. I always thought my dick was pretty, but I still think it's pretty. Maybe prettier, I guess, depending on who you ask. But yeah, it looks good. The healing is a slow process with the Shang Ring. And I believe if I would have got the knife and scalpel with stitches operation, I think it would have probably been healed a lot quicker. Because I would say now I'm on my 6th week and there's still a tiny bit of healing near the frenulum that still needs to heal. So even though all the skin, there's not an open wound anymore, it's still sore. And I tried to have sex. I tried to have sex exactly on the 6th week. And I was able to get an erection. I was able to keep an erection. I was able to do my job and handle my business. But I felt pain. I felt pain every time, in and out. In and out was painful. Every time you rubbed that line where the cut was made, you could feel it. So it's healed on the outside, but the inside you can tell is still healing. So even though the surface is healed, there's still healing that's going on the inside. And from my understanding, that could take months, you know? But you're able to get a good erection that doesn't hurt. You can have sex. You might regret it afterwards, but in the moment, you're going to go through with it, especially if you got somebody that you need to take care of and you want them to be happy. You know, you kind of deal with it, and it still feels good, but it's like that type of pain. It's like, yeah, this is good now, but I know, you know, it's going to hurt in about an hour. And yeah, it was a bit sore. So I got to still try to take it easy. There's no porn star action 6 weeks after a circumcision. You got to take it easy. You got to go slow. If your lady or your partner ain't trying to go slow, don't let her get on top. That's not a good idea, because she'll do whatever she wants to do and you will feel it. So hopefully, I know some people heal quicker than others. I think I might have healed a little bit slower, not sure, but yeah, I'm going into my 7th week and every day is better. It's just, you got to have a lot of patience with this operation. You got to take your time, and yeah, it looks good. You know, I'm happy. Everything feels good. Oh, I had sensation, by the way. I can feel everything. There were still moments where I had to say, man up, you can't come yet. Handle your business, don't come. So if I'm still fighting myself and having to hold back an orgasm, that means it's still sensitive enough for me to understand. Now, masturbation is a different story. Masturbation is not the same. And I don't know if it's because I'm not used to it. I don't know if it's because I'm still sore. But now I know my whole life that all you guys that are circumcised, you don't enjoy masturbation as much as the guys that are not circumcised. That's how I feel. You know, you might not know anything different, but I know the difference now. Masturbation is better when you have foreskin, 100%. Not saying that you can't come with masturbation. You can still enjoy it. It's just the head isn't getting stimulated as much. So I'm pretty much, I don't mean to be graphic or too detailed, but I'm pretty much masturbating with the shaft only, staying away from the head, because every time you rub up to the head, you can feel that soreness. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so sex still feels good, still sensitive. I don't complain about a loss of sensation when it comes to that. Masturbation sucks, but you shouldn't be doing it anyway, you know? But yeah, that's just my opinion. Other people may feel differently. Anyway, so far, yeah, that's my probably final update now, because I skipped pretty much weeks 2 through 4, 2 through 6. So yeah, I hope this information helps anybody. I try to leave comments in the comment if you got any questions for me or anything I can comment on, or if there's another video maybe in a month after I feel like I'm healed a bit more, like on my 8th week or my 9th week or my 10th week, maybe I'll do another update, depending on how many views or how many questions. If it ain't helping nobody, it ain't no point. Anyway, good luck to anybody that's willing to do the process. Now that it's over with, I'm happy I got it done. Like I said, dick looks pretty, still feels good. So the main couple of things that, you know, you worried about, you know, was good for me. So hopefully it's good for you. Anyway, good luck, guys.